always wanted. For the brands you trust at the lowest prices, visit us at Davis Appliance and Furniture.
Imagine you're stopped in traffic. Roadworks brought the highway to a halt. Imagine looking in the rearview mirror. The 18-wheeler behind you is driving too fast for conditions. But you're lucky to be alive. You imagine how much worse it could have been. Imagine knowing you can call all nines 24/7 and get the help you need. The team at George Sink Injury Lawyers has the experience to help you. We've helped thousands of people get the money they need. Call all nines now.
Well, one morning, me and my wife were headed to work. Bus came out right in front of us, and then I woke up hours later in the emergency room. I was worried about the health and well-being of my wife. My son contacted Austin Jackson. They took all the pressure off. They said they were handling everything, and when they meant everything, they meant everything. I would recommend Austin Jackson Law Firm because they relieve you from all the pressure. Get Austin Jackson, the Augusta guy.
Awesome! Center. Register online at AugustaMetroChamber.com. Come on in to Davis Appliance and Furniture, where you can find the best deals in town. It's tax time, so when that refund comes in, it's the perfect time to get the appliances you've always wanted. For the brands you trust at the lowest prices, visit us at Davis Appliance and Furniture.
Trust Chief Meteorologist Riley Hale for your first alert. You're watching News 12 live at 5. Continues.
A day after her family held a news conference about their daughter, who's presumed dead, the Aiken County Sheriff's Office is responding. But first, the point-in-time count just wrapped up in Augusta. It's where city leaders work to find out how many homeless people are in our area, along with providing resources they might need. Well, now, Aiken County is following suit. Our Taylor Martin spoke with Aiken County leaders today about their findings. She joins us now live in the newsroom. Taylor, what were you able to find out?
Well, it's been 4 years since Aiken County has held a point-in-time count, and leaders who organized this year's count say even though it's over, there's still more work to be done. This year, about 45 volunteers and leaders with the Salvation Army, the Aiken County Homeless Coalition, and local nonprofits pulled resources together to do the count. They came up with an estimated total of at least 150 people facing homelessness, not including their families. That's more than 6 times the number calculated in 2019, which was about 21. Leaders say their goal with this year's count was to find ways to get people to come to them rather than going out into their spaces.
These people, if they live in the woods, you don't want to just walk up to them because it's the same as us walking up into, someone else's house and just, opening right up into the door and saying, hey, you want to fill out a survey?
News 12 at 6 o'clock. We'll take a look at what they'll do with the data they gathered and how it will help the community.
All right, thanks for that, Taylor. Important numbers gathered today. A live look now at Thurman Dam. Actually, we're taking a live look
there in our camera view. Have much more on the forecast for you in just about 10 minutes.
All right, thank you, Riley. One day after the family of Jamila Smith spoke out about finding her body and bringing her home, the Aiken County Sheriff's Office is also speaking out about the case. Yesterday, her father spoke out for the first time since her disappearance in December. He says he feels left in the dark, not getting the same information about his daughter as other family members have. Jamila's father says the first 48 hours counts the most, and he says law enforcement hasn't done enough, he believes. Captain Eric Abdullah explains how the homicide investigation is going and how the victim and witness cooperation is key to solving any crime.
Sometimes that doesn't happen, and so we have to rely on evidentiary methods to investigate crime. And sometimes analysis of evidence is not done in just a day. It could take years to analyze, evidence from crime scenes.
As this investigation continues, Jamila's family and law enforcement are encouraging anyone with any information to please come forward. The best friend of one of the 3 Georgia service members killed in Jordan is speaking out tonight. Specialist Brianna Moffitt was from Savannah. Her childhood friend, Saria, shares what kind of person she was. Governor Brian Kemp had this to say about these deaths. Health Health news now, and some good news as we get through these cold winter months. Flu and COVID cases are slowing. New data from the CDC shows for the week ending January 20th, there were 804 total hospitalizations in the state. That's down from 928 the week before. That's a 14% change in admissions. Georgia is still in the red when it comes to flu activity. Health officials have been monitoring a surge in cases following back-to-back holidays. All right, I want to give you a live look at I-20 at the Georgia-South Carolina state line now. Drivers, you can expect overnight lane closures for the Savannah River Bridge project. Tomorrow from 10 p.m. up until, well, the afternoon, look for single right lane closures on I-20 eastbound mile marker from 200 to Georgia mile marker 201. Again, this is only happening overnight from 10 p.m. to 7 p.m. each night. Could this be the winning year for sports betting in Georgia? Next, we look at the process in the state capitol on sports betting bills. Riley?
Well, we are bringing in the opportunity for a few showers late tonight, but mostly dry Wednesday and then a little bit warmer as we close out the week. Full forecast just after break.
We all likely know and love someone struggling with a mental illness, just like Alan Thibodeau. We all could be on the other end of a call, just like the one Alan's brothers got the night that he was arrested.
And you say your name is Alan Thibodeau.
They thought he was going to get help because a judge ordered it, but instead he starved to death in jail.
1, 2, 3.
Nothing excuses how he was treated.
Nothing. When he finally got to the hospital, the doctors and nurses reported neglect, and if not for them, there would have never been an investigation.
Don't want him hurting you guys. That's.
I'm not worried about that. I don't want him dying.
This is an important story to watch. It's difficult, though, because it's about mental illness and about how we treat people who are dying for help. You can watch our investigation right now on our website or our WRDW app.
Time and temp. Brought to you.
Injured in a wreck? Call me right now.
If you've been hurt in a car wreck, what are you waiting for?
Call George Sink Injury Lawyers at all nines now.
The sooner you call, the sooner they can help.
George Sink Injury Lawyers has the experience to help you get your money faster. If you've been hurt in a car wreck, call all nines. Nights, weekends, 24/7.
To weather now, and we're expecting some rain tonight, Riley.
I know, Marion, it's tough to think that rain's going to be happening tonight because we just seen a lot of sunshine today, and we've actually had pretty good burning conditions as well. We've seen some early Sunday plans maybe on the drier side, but we'll have to continue to watch that the next couple of days. Also, Groundhog Day Friday. Right now, it looks like it's going to feel more like spring with those highs not too far away from 70.
All right, we'll take it. Thanks, Riley. Could this be the year for sports betting in Georgia? State lawmakers are inching closer to approving a sports betting bill. Money collected every time you put money on the Braves, Hawks, or Falcons would go towards scholarships benefiting Georgia's children. Our state capitol reporter Abby Kasoris breaks down why lawmakers think the bill could be a winning combination.
A bill legalizing sports betting up for a vote in the Georgia Senate. Does that sound familiar? Multiple measures failed last year, but this bill includes funding for education to sweeten the deal.
All in favor, raise your hand. We got 1, 2, 3, 4.
Senate Bill 386 legalizes sports betting in the state of Georgia. Online, not in a casino, and just sports, no horse racing.
Quite frankly, with Tennessee, Kentucky, North Carolina, and Florida already doing sports betting, there's a lot of illegal sports betting going on.
Sponsor Clint Dixon says the Georgia Lottery would collect the money. Half of the funding, an estimated $100 million, would support pre-K programs in the Hope Scholarship Fund.
State continues to grow. More folks go to college. More families are using Georgia pre-K. Those dollars are only going to go so far.
His bill differs from another sports betting bill from Senator Bill Cowsert. Senate Bill 172, currently tabled in the Senate. Dixon's bill would not require a constitutional amendment, meaning it would need a majority vote of 50%, not 2/3.
This is state-sponsored predatory gambling.
Former Georgia Baptist pastor Mike Griffin opposes any kind of sports betting because it can be addicting. The Georgia Department of Public Health estimates nearly 400,000 Georgians have a gambling problem.
It'll be like putting a gasoline on a fire.
Senator Dixon included safeguards. You can't use a credit card to place your bet. And if you do have a gambling problem, you could self-appoint yourself to a list to keep you from gambling here in Georgia.
In Atlanta, I'm Abby Kasouris.
U.S. Senator John Ossoff pledging to protect children no matter where they live. The Georgia Democrat is launching an inquiry into allegations of child abuse in juvenile detention facilities. Senator Ossoff is asking the U.S. Government Accountability Office to now get involved. He says he wants people in charge to investigate Georgia's facilities, too. The senator says Georgia's youth detention centers are severely understaffed, creating dangerous conditions for the detainees as well as correctional officers and staff.
The next time you pass a farm, you may see a tractor without anyone behind the wheel. I'm Jamie Tucker coming up with autonomous farm equipment. You got to see this in action.
First Alert Radar, powered by
Click, click.
One of the hardest jobs in the country is farming. New technology aims to make the life of a farmer much easier by allowing them to control farm equipment with their smartphone. Jamie Tucker shows us how.
What the Tech, sponsored by Augusta Preparatory Day School.
There are about 2 million farms across the country. They all use big equipment like this to till the land, plant the seeds, and of course, do all the harvesting. Now, can you imagine doing all of that hard work from a smartphone?
This is a view from Austin, Texas. We are tilling ground without an operator in the cab and interacting with it here in CES in Vegas.
The tractor has cameras on all sides. One screen shows if it's staying in a straight line. Another watches for obstacles. And as the farmer watches, they can see the instrument panel and watch as it turns to till another row. The farmer can even drive the tractor back to the pumps for refueling, all from his or her smartphone. Adair says it isn't about cutting jobs, but because on large farms, everything happens at once.
You have to be running your combine harvesting the crop. You have to be unloading that crop into a tractor with a grain cart so that it can transport it to a semi-truck, and then you need an operator in the semi-truck that can transport it to your grain elevator to get stored and then eventually sold.
As that's happening, farmers need to retill the land for the next crop.
We think of our autonomy as more of filling that need of letting you have your experienced operators doing the more important work. And that window, super tight, you don't have the time to mess around, especially if Mother Nature throws you curveballs.
And this isn't a concept. 7 states have farmers using autonomous John Deere products every day. And the company tells me their hope is that every piece of equipment that touches corn or soy can be fully autonomous within the next 6 years. That's What the Tech. I'm Jamie Tucker.
That'll be a sight, won't it? John Deere has not said how much the autonomous tractors cost. A spokesperson, though, said it'll be an add-on to its most expensive tractors, which usually cost around $700,000. With less than 2 weeks to go in the regular season, the Thompson boys basketball team is tied atop their region standings with Westside. News 12 Sports Director Dan Booth joins us now with the latest on the Bulldogs, who are firing on all cylinders right now.
The Thompson Bulldogs started out their season 16-0, dominating most of their opponents along the way. They're currently sitting at 17-1 with that one loss coming to Westside. The Bulldogs have split their 2 games against the 2-time defending state champions, defeating the Patriots at Westside in their earlier matchup this season. Coming into tonight's games, Thompson and Westside are tied atop the region standings, with Butler being only 1 game behind, which means if the Bulldogs want to have a 1 seed in the playoffs, they've got to lock in with just 4 games to go.
In order to play the way we want to play, there has to be concentration. There has to be mental focus on every possession, because there's something specifically they have to do on every single possession. When we say work hard, it's comprised of 2 elements. That's giving maximum effort and giving multiple efforts. Don't just give it one time. Give it as many times as necessary to get the job done.
Coach Thomas is in his 41st season leading the Bulldogs. Earlier this season, he surpassed 700 career wins, and they'll be looking for another one tonight against the Laney Wildcats.
All right, thanks for that, Dan. We are getting closer to our 6 p.m. sunsets. That officially happens Saturday, and then we get our 7 p.m. and later sunsets as we do spring forward March 10th. Having a look quickly at the 7-day just after break.
Elton John and and his longtime songwriting partner, Bernie Taupin, are being awarded the Library of Congress's Gershwin Prize for Popular Song. John and Taupin have created so many hits together over the years, including Tiny Dancer, Rocket Man, and Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. The Gershwin Prize will be awarded to them at an invitation-only tribute concert March 20th in Washington, D.C. I'd like an invite to that concert, right?
I bet there are going to be some fancy people at that one, but that is definitely a well-deserved honor for them. You just listed off a number of iconic hits that they had, and yeah, I'd definitely like concert to that ticket.
Yeah, no
or a
kidding.
ticket to that concert. Hey, we got a nice sunset out there. A live look over Clarksdale Lake. We do have clear skies at the moment, but if we take a look at our first alert radar network, you can see some rain already pushing into North Georgia. This is going to continue pushing towards the CS area as we get into later tonight. Most likely starting to see some rain show up across at least the northern CS area just before midnight. Gets a little bit closer towards us here in Augusta just after midnight. I would imagine around 1, 2 a.m. And you can see it's not going to be much, just a few hit or miss showers out there. So don't be surprised if you see a few raindrops on your windshield once you head out to the car tomorrow morning. But once you head out to the car tomorrow morning, by around 6 a.m., that rain's already close to Myrtle Beach and Charleston. So not really going to be an issue during the day Wednesday. Just going to stay a little bit breezy behind that rainfall and also hang on to a little bit of clouds throughout the day. So we'll see our temperatures drop just a little bit tomorrow behind that front, but back to highs in the 60s Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and some beautiful weather to close out the week and for Groundhog Day. But for Sunday, got to keep an eye on the chance for rain.
All right, thanks for that, Riley, and thanks for watching News 12 live at 5, News 12 at 6 o'clock. Coming up next, don't go anywhere.